What gets me is that there is such a sheer volume of prostitutes. Like, is this historically accurate that there is so many prostitutes in London? What am I saying? Of course it's accurate. I can just go online and look at OnlyFans right now. World's oldest profession for a reason. I don't know. Makes me feel a little bit sad. Makes me feel a little bit sad that there's some people out there that don't have enough faith in their ability to do literally anything else. Sure, there are man whores, but, like, you don't see nearly as many men doing things like OnlyFans or prostituting themselves because they have more faith in their other abilities, or maybe they just don't see themselves as sexual objects. Maybe they don't think they're wanted or capable, or maybe there just isn't the demand of the market. But it's just so depressing to see the self-degradation of young, impressionable women and teenagers even, where the dream of sexual liberation is sold to them is freeing, only for them to be trapped down the road when they want to do other things, only to have their chances absolutely destroyed because they've now got a permanent history with a big black smear on it, especially since it's all online. I mean, hey, back during the Victorian era, you could just pretend. You could move somewhere else. You never did anything. But online, the paper trail is part of the marketing. People get into pornography these days and they almost never get to leave. Like, Mia Khalifa was, like, famous for doing porn, and then she was really, really trying to do other things. But because she had that history with porn, that's all anyone ever knew her for or cared about, and she just ended up getting sucked back into that vortex. I don't know. Her story depresses me a little bit. It's also the lazy, easy perspective. Would you rather work 12 hours shift at the factory or spread your legs for half an hour? I mean, there's also that, but that's more a different kind of question. A friend is going through it, and I'm trying to help lead her to Christ. Well, some people are just incapable of leaning on religion, and some people are still theoretically religious while doing these things. It's more of a societal, not expectation, but lack of collective responsibility as for training people properly. Kind of like how a lot of kids these days are growing up learning not how to read and write because they're being slapped in front of iPads. A lot of young women are being brought up to genuinely think that gold digging is a proper way to live a life. All I see on TikTok are people like millennial women and older Gen Z women spoiling the shit out of their little girl children, saying that I'm raising her to only accept and want the best and to want gifts all the time because I want her to hunt for a man who will spoil the shit out of her. And it's like, if that is a priority, if that is the top priority on your list at all times, and not, I need to teach my child to be self-sustaining and to not be selfish and stupid, then you have fundamentally failed as a parent, and you've set your kid up for a lifetime of disappointment, especially in this economy. Because it's like, we are fast tracking to only a microscopic amount of people being able to access all of the wealth in the world. And if everybody has the mindset of, I deserve something I haven't earned purely because of the way I was born, then it's over. Men are taught their primary purpose is to be that gold to dig. Yeah, but it's not just that. Men are told you have to be the provider, the protector, the worker, the slave. Historically, it worked because there was actually some counterbalance. The roles that women were given were there to fill in the gaps in the expectations that were placed upon men. But now the expectations for women have dramatically shifted, so now the void is there, and it's a big gaping vacuum. So now men have all the responsibility, but none of the reward, and women have all of the reward, but none of the responsibility. It's soul-sucking, and it's devastating, and now new subclasses of people are forming to try and make their lives work. And some of them are following more traditionalist values. Some of them have created entirely new value systems. But the way things are right now, it doesn't work. And it was always intentional. It was always intentional because this is how you destabilize a society so you can swoop in and claim the rubble and the refuse. This is how the rich get richer and the poor stay poorer. You erode, I'm not going to say family values, The value of the self. By making everybody so individualistic and making everybody selfish and self-focused, but also incapable of operating on their own, you get a society full of broken people because they both need to rely on themselves. Like, they both need to rely on everyone around them to survive. And they also don't want to be seen as relying on others, and they want to be seen as a self-moving mountain. So everybody is born and lives their lives as an oxymoron. In traditional family structures, women performed as much shit as men. Yeah, no, like, traditional values, like, again, they filled in the roles that men didn't do. There was shared responsibility. It was just different responsibilities. Alternative structures that kind of mirror traditional values only work if all of the responsibilities are shared with, like, equal fervor. Whenever it becomes one person gets all the benefit and one person gets all of the hell, that is when things fall apart. The government tricked women into working to make more in taxes. Yes and no. The government really benefited in the end, pushing women into the workforce for a multitude of reasons. There was the taxation reason, but it was also more bodies so that they can lower actual wages because now there's more competition in the workspace, right? It's why high levels of immigration at low cost is such an issue. It's kind of the same issue as bringing in the other half of the gender. You all of a sudden have 50% more population fighting for the same jobs. Of course, not all the same jobs. You don't have women wanting to typically be sanitation workers or be on construction or do all the really dangerous, disgusting work. Those are majority male jobs. It's a complex and depressing issue. No wonder why so many young men have given up on life nowadays. I don't know what the future holds, but I'm watching everybody kind of disintegrate, and there's a saying that tough times make strong people build good times, and good times create weak people. Right now, we are in the bad times created by weak men. So I don't know how long the bad times are going to last, but hopefully not too much longer. Hopefully we have some strong people come back and take the reins. We have to be the strong people, yes? We can't sit around and wait for strong people to pop into existence. We have to do our part, and we have to become the people that we need to be. We need to be the people that create change, even if it's individually in our own small communities. Because nobody can change the whole world, but you can fix the street you live on. Affect change in, like, maybe a school that your kid goes to if you have one. Maybe you can help a broken family. You can slit the throat of, like, the crack addict that keeps raping all the children in the streets. I don't know, like, be the change you need to see. Here in the third world, when someone wants to make a change and does something in days, he suddenly disappears from existence. Well, you see, that's where you need to know where to draw the line responsibly. Like, if something is genuinely beyond reason, that is when you need to do your absolute utmost to get out of the environment that is going to actively destroy you, and then try to become an asset to the community you place yourself into. Now, what does that mean? That doesn't mean immigrate from a bad country into a good country and then refuse to follow the country's customs because you want to bring your home customs and you try to impose them upon others. No. It means if you're in a bad place and you move to a place that isn't so bad, you learn the law of the land, you meet the people, you do your best to become one of them, and from there you try to enact the changes that you see most befit the people you care about, their safety and your happiness. That is all you can do as an individual man. And if you've got nobody, then become somebody. Invent a life for yourself. From the ground up, even if it's
me that you're looking
from
for,
ground zero. Oh, this is the woman that we nearly killed. So in doing so, do you have to completely abandon your old traditions and culture? Not in the damn slightest. No. However, you need to do your best to be culturally sensitive to where you have moved to. If your culture that from your country of origin or your place of origin, your town of origin even, is in massive conflict with where you moved to, then you need to do your best to make sure that you don't disrupt where you live. Like in some cultures, some things are considered crimes and some things are considered totally normal. You need to learn to live within the rule of the law where you're going. Like, that is baseline. Respect for your neighbors. After you've lived to the letter of the law, at that point, that is where you can be a bit more loose with what you do and do not decide to display culturally. Like, wearing religious artifacts, totally up to you, totally fine. Again, it depends where you live, but hopefully you'd be living somewhere where that is acceptable, yes? You want to play music? You want to play your cultural music? You want to wear your cultural outfits? You want to display your cultural food? That is entirely up to you, as long as you're not disrupting the local population in a way that pisses everybody off. Because at the end of the day, you have come to their home, and they were already there. Nobody would like it in inverse, right? If you were already living somewhere and somebody totally ended everything that you've known your whole life. It is not the job of a country who is accepting people that are moving in to change its baseline culture to suit the needs of those coming in. It is the job of those coming in to do their best to assimilate while not losing what makes themselves special. It is not an easy thing to do, and it shouldn't be easy. Nothing good in life ever comes easily. But the instant you try to take the easy way out, you destroy both cultures and you make everybody miserable. Isn't assimilating to where you immigrated the way that will flow? When in Rome, speak like a Roman? You would think so, Undying. But there is a massive motion right now in the world, politically, socially, economically, to discourage that kind of thought and behavior. And honestly, that, I think, is insulting to the intelligence of the people that are doing the immigration. I think that the people who are immigrating are more than capable of being able to both keep their cultural identity and respect their new neighbors. Not holding them to that standard is an insult to their intelligence and an insult to the people that they have now moved to. This talk would be a lot more inspiring without the background image. Lamau.